Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, Grim the Lord of Salt here, and today we are continuing with our retro wrestling series, and we are playing the WWF Wrestlemania Steel Cage Challenge on the Sega Master System. And this was released for a whole bunch of consoles back in the day. It was the last part of the WrestleMania trilogy back in the day. It started with WWF Wrestlemania, then it was WWF Wrestlemania Challenge. And now, of course, Steel Cage Challenge being the last one. And we've got a few different modes here. 1-on-1 tag, championship, tag team championship. This is basically a tournament mode. I'm going to select cage match because it's a steel cage game. So you might as well do the cage match. Got some nice digitized version of the entrance themes. Hulk Hogan, Undertaker, Tatanka, Ted DiBiase, the $1 Million Man. Macho Man, Randy Savage, ooh yeah. The Hitman, Bret Hart. And of course the Heartbreak Kid, Shawn Michaels, which doesn't sound like his theme. Maybe that's his theme before? I don't know. Papa Shango. He put a curse on you. And of course Erwin R. Shyster, the classic typewriter theme. And the Nature Boy, Ric Flair. The rosters are different depending on which version of the game you're playing. I'm going to go ahead and pick the Macho Man. You see, it doesn't really matter who you pick. The stats are a little different, but there's no finishing moves in this game, unfortunately. I picked Macho because the flying elbow drop is just a move you can do. So I figured, well, at least he can do his finisher. From Sarasota, Florida, weighing 245 pounds, Macho Man Randy Savage. And his opponent, from Charlotte, North Carolina, weighing 242 pounds, Ric Flair. Absolute classic matchup, and we're just starting off. Now, unfortunately for the Master System, whether you pick Steel Cage or regular matches, that's what they're all going to be. The NES version I will give credit for. It will switch up the matches on you. So sometimes they'll be normal, sometimes they'll be Steel Cage. But it seems when you pick the Steel Cage one, there's just all cage matches. No ropes here, just cages. Very basic controls. But interestingly enough, the control scheme is identical to... and of course I lost my first one. But it's identical to WWF Superstars and WrestleFest on the arcade game. Not as good, of course, not as responsive. And of course you just hit one and try again. You just keep trying until you get it, guys. These matches aren't too long. I was going to edit out the losses, and then I forgot about my commentary, so I'll have to keep them all in there. But there's not too many. I only lost a few times. It is a tricky game because you have to mash the 2 button to get up, and sometimes it just doesn't work. Like, it didn't work there, but there it worked there. So they automatically jump down when you get up. Some people will say you have to mash both buttons. Don't. It's a waste of time. It'll never work. Just mash 2, or if you're playing the NES version, it would be the A button. Punches and kicks, very basic, of course. You can grapples automatic when you get close to them. You can body slam them, you can headbutt them, and that's about it. If you're fighting a normal match, you can go on the outside, I think. Not that there's much to do out there. Body slam! And you just hold the arrow key to climb the cage. And that's it, and we won! Here is your cage match winner, Macho Man Randy Savage. And it'll go through. It's nice that Finkel at least got to make a physical appearance here. And goes right into the next match. You have to fight each wrestler in the game, so. And his opponents, weighing 260 pounds, the $1 Million Man, Ted DiBiase. Doesn't sound like his theme either. Money, 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 money. Boom, 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 boom. Yeah, I don't know why they couldn't get his. Maybe, no, he wouldn't have used. I think he always had that theme, right? Going back. Another classic rivalry, of course, WrestleMania 4, right? The conclusion of the tournament when Savage became world champion in the first time around. They do have 2 health bars, which is why it might seem confusing when it depletes the first time. Graphics are a little better on the Master System version than the NES. Not a huge difference, but it is there. Not much of an arena here, you know, very basic. Blue apron on the ring, blue cage, classic blue. The metal railings outside, and a completely inanimate crowd, which only has, I think, 3 maybe 4 sprites. And we win again, climbing out of the cage. You can win by pinfall as well in a cage match. I don't know if they do submission. Not positive. No, they don't. There's no submission matches. There's no submission moves, sorry. But yeah, you can play as Bret Hart, but you can't do the sharpshooter. This is crazy. It makes you wonder why I play it. Well, there's not much excuse. It's just for the novelty of it. And his opponent, of unknown origin, weighing 330 pounds, Papa Shango. There he is, making his debut in the WWF video games. Papa Shango, also known as Kama Mustafa, the Godfather. He played a lot of characters back in the day. Did he have? I don't think he ever had a rivalry with Randy Savage, but they probably crossed paths a few times back in the day. Papa Shango was one of my favorite wrestlers from back when, besides The Undertaker, of course. There you can see a pin attempt. You can run, you have to push the 2 buttons at the same time. Similar to, again, Superstars and WrestleFest. You only had the 2 buttons there, punch and kick, so... Similar control scheme, just no finishing moves, and just generally not as good. When you said, you were at the Top Dog with your mom, and you wanted to play WrestleFest, you're like, Mom, I want to play WWF. She'd say, no, it's okay, you got WWF at home. This was WWF at home, compared to that. So, yeah, bit of a downgrade. But, on the bright side, it didn't cost any quarters. I did play it on easy mode because these games were pretty tough back in the day. No need to drag it out too much, and it is a lot of button mashing, not a lot of technique to it. This was, this would have been the first game Sculptured Software worked on. Well, this came out at the same time as Super Wrestlemania, which was kind of the successor to the old WrestleMania trilogy. It was made for the next-gen systems. We won't be playing Super Wrestlemania, and Papa beat me. Because it's not a great game. It's okay. When I had it as a kid, I was happy because it had Ultimate Warrior in it, and he wasn't in a lot of wrestling games, so it was fun to be able to play as the Ultimate Warrior. But other than that, it's they did have signature moves though in Super WrestleMania, excuse me. So there is that. But I'm skipping that because it's just there's enough of these retro games. We don't need to linger too much. But this one has the exact, like I said, control scheme of the classic arcade games in there, so it's pretty clear what Sculptured Software was going for back in the day. And this time we almost won there. Yeah, and it would be the start of a very long Sculptured Software. Made a lot of WWF games back in the day. Pretty much, well, all the WWF games for quite a few years, and of course they continued working on wrestling games afterwards, making Legends of Wrestling 1 and 2 before they got shuttered, and Acclaim got shut down shortly after, so that's why Showdown was the last game. But yeah, and they also made the ECW games, so we'll be going through not all the games, but we'll be going through examples of each. Macho Man for the win, yeah! Defeat that Witch Doctor Man. Yeah. And we'll be going from there. I'll also be uploading soon the WWF King of the Ring, the only other 8-bit wrestling game we'll be playing, which was on the NES. And his opponent, from Calgary, Alberta, Canada, weighing 234 pounds, Bret Hitman Hart. Time to take on the Hitman, Macho Man. Randy Savage and Bret Hart, I'm sure they had a lot of great matches back then, but these were two of the best back wrestlers of all time, really. Neither of these guys, I think, have ever had a bad match with anybody, really. Seems putting in his 2 cents as he chews up what used to be a squeaky. I got him a duck. We call him Senor Pato, Mr. Duck. And, of course, he ripped out the squeaker, and that's what he's playing with now. But yeah, these were two of the greats. Macho, he was a little meticulous. He liked to plan the whole match out ahead of time, so it was like the whole thing was scripted. Bret was a little more instinctual, I think, but both of them, they were great workers, always had great matches. And I know they had a few matches back in the day, and they were all top-notch stuff. So, the Macho Man and the Hitman, again, if everybody talks about their Mount Rushmore, right, of wrestling, these two guys I would definitely say deserve spots on it, because they're just all-time greats. And it's a shame that Vince kind of let both of them go in the ways that he did. Thinking that Randy was too old to have a good match. And the reason for the tension with Randy over the years was also ridiculous, because basically, they couldn't get him into the Hall of Fame when he was alive, because he wanted his father to be inducted first, which seems like a reasonable request to make, right? So it's they refused to induct his father, Leapin' Lanny, I think his name was, right? Leapin' Lanny Poffo. They refused to put his father in the Hall of Fame, so they couldn't get him in there until after he died, and his brother accepted for him, and the Hitman got one over us. You can see a pattern here. It's kind of a thing where you can mash the crap out of the button. Sometimes you just won't get up, and it happens to the computer too. So it's just the way the game's made, which is weird. It's a weird game, guys. But yeah, this is what we had for wrestling back in the day, back home. You know, and I lived out in the country, so we didn't have a lot of arcades, so this was the kind of stuff I had to get by on. Oof, and I ran myself into the cage, because that's how the running works. But yeah, shame about that, and of course the whole thing with Bret Hart and the Montreal screw job, everybody else has commented on, and you know, it's a shame it went out that way is all it is. At least Bret I think he had a better career than Randy Savage did there. But they still had good times. They're both great wrestlers. And Bret pulled a me and ran himself into the steel cage. It is kind of interesting that there's no ropes here. I mean, it is the limitations of the console, I'm sure. But it kind of makes it look like it's a Ultimate Fight match or something, right? Or like a Fight Club, you know, underground sort of fight thing. Right, Sheamus? Give me that. Give me that, mister. Give me that, mister. Yeah, not the most exciting matches, but it is what it is. We'll play through this, and then we will do the King of the Ring tournament for King of the Ring. I'm not going to go through tournament mode again for King of the Ring, because it's similar to this one where there's just not a lot. There are more moves and, you know, bigger, better looking sprites, but there's still no signature moves, so it's just kind of the same stuff over and over again. So it's like, why bother, you know? And Bret got up. So I got to body slam him, and off. And I couldn't stick to the cage. You have to hold the button, the arrow key, you know, to the left or right, or up or down. But you have to keep holding it. If you don't hold it, you'll drop off. Your winner, cage match winner, Macho Man Randy Savage. And of course, on to the next match. It's a pretty good sized roster for an older game, which also means this tournament mode takes a while to get through. And his opponent, from San Antonio, Texas, weighing 240 pounds, Shawn Michaels. Another, again, Mount Rushmore head, I think, would have been the Heartbreak Kid, Shawn Michaels. This was clearly when he first started wrestling on his own. It is 1992, this game came out, which means it's a 91 roster, right? Because it's in development from the year before. So yeah, the Rockers are broken up. Heartbreak Kid's on his own, probably managed at the time by Sherry, right? Sherry Martel, Sensational Sherry. She sang the first iteration of his theme song before he sang it himself. So yeah, you might have seen it if this match, and they did have a few matches back in the day, but you could have seen. And Sensational Sherry used to manage Randy Savage back when he was the Macho King in his heel turn. But yeah, it would have been Sherry and Miss Elizabeth at ringside for this match. As Savage had come back, he had came back to feud with Jake Roberts because he had his wedding. He retired from. He was put into retirement by the Ultimate Warrior. Then he came back out because he was being attacked by Jake Roberts. Him and Elizabeth, they crashed his wedding, and so Macho Man came back. Yeah. And IRS, Erwin R. Shyster from Washington, D.C., weighing 250 pounds. Erwin R. Shyster. Bray Wyatt's daddy. Looking like Danny DeVito for some reason, his sprite. I don't know why, but I don't know why they made him bald. Like he's got the Hulk Hogan hair. That don't make no sense. But yeah, it's a important legacy character here, right? Yeah, you didn't see a lot of IRS in video games back in the day. I remember they were going to have him tag with The Undertaker at one point doing Death and Taxes and all that, which is pretty funny. Goofy, of course, angle, but probably good it didn't happen. Better for Undertaker's career, I think. He kind of became a giant slayer of sorts for a few years there. And on to the next match. Like I said, this takes a little longer than I'd like it to, but it is what it is, right? And his opponent from Death Valley, weighing 328 pounds, The Undertaker, who we were just talking about. Good old Mark Calloway was a rookie this year. In fact, this was around the time I think he had his face turn. Pretty nondescript character sprite, right? But yeah, of course, he started off as a heel. First WrestleMania match against Jimmy Snuka. His second WrestleMania match, which again would have been around this time, was against Jake Roberts when he had his face turn, which was over the Macho Man thing, interestingly enough, because Jake Roberts tried to attack Miss Elizabeth, and that upset The Undertaker. He turned on him, and he turned face for the first time. So yeah, this was a feud back in the day, and they did have a few matches, if I remember. Just looking at their sprites, Undertaker almost looks like the anti-Macho Man, right? They got the same character model here, right? Same sprite, just different colors. No gloves or I don't know what you call those sleeves on his legs. But, you know, pretty basic Undertaker. But it's pretty cool to see him in a wrestling game. He wasn't with the company yet by the time Superstars and WrestleFest came out, unfortunately. So this is his video game debut. And, yeah, in a cage match with the Macho Man. And he's giving me a hard time. Undertaker was tough in this one. He's, well, they get more difficult as the matches go on, so luckily he can't hit me with the tombstone because it's not in the game. Keeps going for that pin, though. He might get it. And now he got a body slam, and yeah, I couldn't. Oh, I made it. I made it. We're still in this match, guys. It's a tough one, the Macho Man and the Dead Man. Stomping's like your primary way of doing damage in this game. It's not exciting or fun to watch, but it's just how it is. Also, you can counter when they get you in the grapple by hitting the 2 or the A button. It would be on NES. That's why you use 2 or A. Pretty much for any interaction. To get up, to counter grapples, kick out of a pin. You want to use 2 or, again, A. But that's also your weaker attack in a grapple. So you can't just mash it. You have to be kind of careful. You use it to counter out, but then when it shows that you've got the advantage, you might want to switch over to the 2 button because that's your body slam button right there. It does way more damage than the headbutt does. And of course puts them on the ground so you can stomp a mud hole, as it were. Elbow drop you can't do. Whip me into the cage, the bugger. No sitting up animations, no entrance. Although it is cool, you get to listen to that 8-bit rendition of his theme song. I kind of like that, I'm not going to lie. Not going to lie, guys. Yeah, so back and forth match. This was a tough one. Game's starting to ramp things up on me. Sometimes the stomp doesn't hit. You can tell when the health drains, and usually the other character sprite will bounce a little, registering the hit. And I figured it's close enough. Let's go for it. We did it. Out of the cage again. The Macho Man for the win. So yeah, there's a few wrestlers that beat me, but they only beat me like once each. So I'll just leave them in there. It is what it is. On to the next one. Who can follow up The Undertaker? That's a tough act to follow, guys. It's very difficult. Of course, none other from Venice Beach, California. Weighing 303 pounds, the immortal Hulk Hogan. And yeah, rest in peace, both of these guys. Fantastic wrestlers back in the day. And again, Hogan would be, well, he's not my Mount Rushmore guy, but he is one of my all-time favorites. The Mega Powers exploding again here. So I didn't play as my favorite this time for you guys. But, yeah, he's here all the same. Hogan and Macho, of course, had a lot of real-life heat as well. like in much like the storyline, they were beefing over apparently Miss Elizabeth. Apparently Randy was certain that Hogan was after her and suggested that they do the old wife swap thing or something at one point, as the accusations from Randy. So they never did get to make up, unfortunately. So yeah, the Mega Powers never, they got back together in WCW for a while, but there was always tension between them IRL towards the end, which is unfortunate. But they both wound up going to WCW. They had some good matches there. Teamed up for a while. Went up against each other a bunch of times. And I won. Woo! Macho Man. The madness continues, brother. Madness is too much for the Hulkamania. At least this time. On to the next one. Pretty soon we should be wrapping up with the world title match. Alright, hold up, guys. From Pembroke, North Carolina, weighing 232 pounds, Tatanka. I think this is the last match. The last match, of course, is the finale of the tournament for the world title. The world title on the line, Tatanka going for it. Not a whole lot of games with Tatanka in it, so it's pretty cool to see him here. He was actually just in a few 2K games recently. He was in a couple, I think, like 2, literally. I don't know why they've had him in a few games over the years, but then they take him right out again as a legend. It doesn't make sense. Why not just keep him there? I guess they don't want to pay royalties, Don't want to cut those extra paychecks, right? God forbid the old retired guys get to make some extra money on the side. But hey, that's the corporation we're in, right? It's the corporate era, truly. TKO wouldn't want to pay these guys either. So, what you gonna do? But it's pretty cool to see Tatanka when it comes around. The old pink mohawk there. Can't beat that. And yeah. So there you go, guys. Body slam for the win. Unfortunately, because it was a cage match, I can't go for the flying elbow drop. So that was the whole reason the new World Wrestling Federation champion is Macho Man Randy Savage. That's the whole reason I picked him and I couldn't even do it. So anyways, guys, I hope you enjoyed that video. Short and sweet. I'll wrap this up with an extra bonus. You guys can watch the match recreated in 2K25. Hope you enjoy. Until next time, this is Grim signing off saying stay salty.
From championship gold to main event wins, Savage has done it all. The cream of the crop, always rising to the top. Oh yeah.
All right, I love this guy.
And his opponent from Pembroke, North Carolina, weighing in at 285 pounds.
As we get started here, let me remind everybody that the title is on the line here tonight.
Yeah, but that's just a mere formality. The way I see it, there's no way we crown a new champion tonight. Desire and resolve will be tested tonight, all for the right to claim the championship.
The steel cage is locked, and this match is underway.
Time and time again, the word unforgiving has been used to describe the steel cage, and tonight is no different.
Yeah, just look into their eyes. These superstars know what awaits them in this match, and it isn't pretty.
Uh-oh. Look at this, launched into the cage. Atomic drop.
How about another?
How about a hat trick?
Okay, here we go. Flinged across the way. Was definitely not thinking about finesse with that one. Was only thinking about dominance.
From the middle rope. Oh, what a splash!
And that's classic Macho Man right there. Come get your cup of coffee in the big time.
Gut-wrench suplex.
Making it look easy.
The sheen is starting to wear off of him a bit now.
Savage putting some punishing offense on display.
This is a situation you want to avoid.
Randy Savage, the cream of the crop. Few bring the intensity like Randy Savage.
Just caught flush.
Oh, what a knee! Gonna scale the cage wall now. Watch out!
Body on body.
Wow.
He's telling the ref to get the door open right now.
Hoisted up. Nice suplex.
He's mounted an all-out assault right now.
This is the kind of intensity he wants to bring all night. When you're in the steel cage, you have to use it to your advantage. There's a literal ton of cold, hard steel surrounding you, and that can be your best friend or your worst enemy.
Absolutely. You need to use the cage or be eaten by it.
He's waiting for him to rise to deliver something devastating.
With authority! Atomic drop! Oof!
Impressive display of dominance from Savage.
What offense from the Macho Man! Driver!
Spiked him. You always got to expect the unexpected in the kingdom of madness.
Going up and possibly out.
And now perched at the top of the... And now from 20 feet up.
There's no way.
Don't do it!
And he has started to ascend the cage wall now.
Completely missing the mark from the top of the cage. That alone has to take you out of the match.
Savage avoids damage.
Clothesline! Moving up the side of the cage.
From the top rope.
Elbow drop!
Pinpoint devastation from Savage.
2.